Hi, I'm Al Bernstein. This is the 8-Count Boxing Hour on Channel 27.
Well, a terrific performance from our own Kid Dynamite. What more can you say? The man is amazing. And right now, the Wayback Machine, we set this for approximately sometime in the mid-1980s here. You've got Paul Blea out of the Hideout Boxing Club taking on Chris Crespin out of Los Lunas, New Mexico. And we're going to take a look at some of this vintage amateur action. All right, folks, round one is underway here. The Wayback Machine bringing you some old vintage amateur footage from here in New Mexico. Chris Crespin in the white shirt, Paul Blea in the blue. This is a regional tournament. And Chris Crespin, who is now a professional fighter, and Paul Blea, who we hear is making plans to turn professional very soon. Both men right-handers. Now there's a good left hand from Paul Blea. Again, a left hand sneaks in there from Blea. Chris Crespin now comes back with a combination. Not sure who the crowd here was cheering for. Again, Blea busy and comes back with that left hand. Paul Blea, who was a very celebrated amateur fighter, and Chris Crespin, a good local amateur as well. So this is a good regional matchup here. Again, Paul Blea with combinations now scoring, but Crespin comes back bravely. Again, Blea sneaks in that little left hand. Two professional fighters back in their teenage days. Chris Crespin in the white top and Paul Blea in the blue top with the white trunks, the red waistband. Oh, and Crespin sneaks in a little left hand in there as Paul Blea charged in. Again, Crespin letting both hands go here. Again, you see Blea get the right hand in there. Chris Crespin went on to become not only a good professional fighter, but a kickboxer as well. He was had a pretty good name around town as a kickboxer. But he does both. And right now you see him letting his hands go, and Paul Blea kind of goes off balance here. And he gets a warning for spinning around, but it couldn't be helped. And there you see Blea now catching Crespin with a counter left. Chris Crespin comes in with a left hand and catches a left of his own. Sneaks in the right hand on Blea. Paul Blea comes back with a little chopping left. The amateur ranks, 3 rounds. You've got to do a lot, and there's a left hand from Paul Blea to the head of Crespin. You're watching the 8-Count Boxing Hour. This is Community Cable Channel 27 in Albuquerque. Dan Cisneros at ringside, bringing you some vintage footage here. This is some old-time amateur fighting from here in Albuquerque. This footage provided by Albuquerque's own Danny Romero Sr. And now you see Crespin with some good work. And he lands a right hand to the chin of Blea. And Paul Blea comes firing back at the bell. It's good work by both men. Maybe an edge to Paul Blea. He seems to have a little more pop in his punching. And if that man in there talking to Blea looks familiar, that's him. That's Danny Romero Sr. He used to run the Hideout Boxing Club, had a tremendous amateur boxing program. And of course the Hideout is the training grounds that brought forth Kid Dynamite Danny Romero Jr. as well as Steve Hindi, Eloy Montano, and plenty of other good pro fighters. Right now both men getting busy here. Fighting in front of that home crowd. A lot of pride at stake. Paul Blea kind of staying more on the outside, doing a little bit more of the side movement. And now Crespin lands with a couple of shots, and then a good straight shot from Blea. Paul Blea in the white trunks, Chris Crespin in the black trunks. Again, you see Crespin with combination punching. There's some good shots, little shots that catch Paul Blea. Blood now coming from the nose of Paul Blea. We're in round 2 here. This bout scheduled for 3 amateur action. Paul Blea and Chris Crespin. Oh, and there's a good little left hand from Blea. And Crespin comes back, sneaks a right hand in there. Chris Crespin with 1-2 punching. Both of these guys throwing good combination punching. Not a lot of one-shot punching here. Both men are following up. And now Blea with a nice combination goes to the body and comes back upstairs. Ooh, and Crespin shoots that quick little jab out there. Both men doing some good work here. A good even match. And now a little work on the gloves, on the tape of Chris Crespin. Paul Blea, pretty tricky, pretty crafty amateur fighter here. And Chris Crespin with a heart of gold, the heart of a lion. And Blea comes way over the top of that right hand, and he gets a warning now, his second warning for pushing down on the head of Chris Crespin. And Crespin answers with a couple of shots. A good left hand now from Crespin. Paul Blea up on his toes, trying to get that rhythm. Crespin missing now. Oh, and a big right hand from Paul Blea. Paul Blea continuing to bounce, up on his toes, moving around the ring. Chris Crespin in the white shirt out of Los Lunas. Now he gets a little warning for holding and hitting. Paul Blea continues to move around the ring. Oh, and there's a good little quick left as Crespin unloaded the right hand, and that ends the second round. We have 1 to go here in this amateur fight. You're looking at some Wayback Machine action. We set the Wayback Machine and take you to the mid-80s. Amateur boxing from here in New Mexico. Paul Blea, who you're looking at right now, and his opponent out of Los Lunas, New Mexico, just south of Albuquerque. That's Chris Crespin. The final round now, round 3 underway. That second round's pretty close. First round's maybe a slight edge to Paul Blea. Pretty close fight. And right now both men need this third round. They know it. And Blea with a good right hand and follows it with a good left. Chris Crespin slips out there and says, let me reset and start over again. And Paul Blea comes back with that left hand. Again, Blea with a good jolting left hand that just jolts the head of Crespin. Blea's had a bloody nose throughout this fight. Crespin has landed some good shots on Paul Blea. Again, Paul with a slick move there, avoiding that right hand. And Paul Blea just keeps on firing. Chris Crespin comes right back. And there's, and Crespin catches Blea there with a good combination right at the end of those punches. And there's a left hand from Paul Blea. Again, both men mixing it up, not too shy about letting their hands go. Of course, this is amateur boxing. You've got to stay busy and get those judges on your side. You've got to score the points. Paul Blea comes in with some good scoring shots right there. Both men landing solid punches. A lot of punishment being administered here in this amateur fight. Oh, and that snaps the head back. I think Crespin was trying to avoid the shot, but taking a little of it as well. Time running out now in this fight. Paul Blea throwing his hands again. trying to keep that edge. And there Crespin fights back. Blea answers back. Blea trying to duck under those shots and come back with his own stuff. Oh, and there's a good left right to the chin of Blea, and a right hand now follows it from Crespin. Crespin's scoring pretty well in this third round. There's a left hand and a right now from Crespin. He tried the uppercut and pays as Blea sticks the left hand in there. Again, Crespin just wading in with punches now. Pushes Blea to the ropes, and Paul Blea comes firing now. And Paul Blea just fires his way off the ring there, off the ropes. Mouthpiece comes flying out of the mouth of Chris Crespin. He'll have it replaced here. Somebody in the audience yelling 15 seconds, so not much time here. Maybe somebody could steal the round right here, a pretty close round. And that ends it. Who do you like? Who do you think won this one? There you see Paul Blea coming over to the corner of Crespin, and Crespin doing the same. Both men are good sports, good gentlemen. And we're going to get the decision on this amateur fight.
We have the winner, bout number 6, in the red corner from the hideout, Paul Blea.
Well, there is your winner by decision, Paul Blea out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. A good old-time amateur fight.